Hi, it's Kathy Vick. I think I really could come as deeply awake today. There's some things going on energetically that I really do need to document. I need to capture them. I'm in a very, very altered place and a very good place. It's different energy than I've ever experienced. I like it. And what I have been feeling for the last day, and on and off before, but it's steady now. It's like the the ball of light that I was feeling. I don't know, it's not that anymore. I feel really it's soft. I feel really soft. And I feel really protected. Um, in a good way, loved and protected. And I can't worry in this place. I drop out of it and the worries are really intense. I have worries. Don't you? Is everything going fine in your life? Well, good for you. You did a good job. High five. Pew. But I'm encountering that, and this is what I've been puzzling with, and actually, felt moved to open my laptop and start talking about this morning, but I didn't publish. I've been going through on and off since the eclipse a bit of a involuntary life review, and at times it gets super duper intense. I didn't expect that. Today, what I understand is that I'm creating my reality, and as such, I really see that I have been pulling from the past and pasting those things onto the present. I understand. And having had to live through a lot of trauma, I have patterns that are not effective and are based in worthlessness and powerlessness. They're passive aggressive, they're sneaky, and I've had to come to terms with just at times being just a really kind of a, I don't know, just not very nice. Oh well, deal with it. Sometimes you're not nice, right? But then after all of this review, well, I'll tell you, I'm going to tell you the truth because I tend to do that, don't I? I have a friend who is now deeply, deeply in love with one of my lovers. And I'm really happy for her. And I'm happy for him because I think it's a really, really good match. And I felt that when I was going out with him, that was really who they need to be together. So I have a problem with it. But I did. A big one. And it's all about coveting. Because what they're doing, we talked about doing, and I just guess I wasn't a good fit. And the truth is that I was told that I couldn't continue. So, no harm, no foul, but it still hurts like a son of a bitch. And I don't know. It's been really intense because I'm getting closer and closer to getting surgery, and I know that that's a really, really big door. And I worry about dying. I don't want to die yet. I don't know why I'm scaring myself with that, but I am. I know why. There have been a few days in this life review thing that have been really hard. There have been moments in very deep soul fatigue that I have said very powerfully that, I don't like it here. I've never liked it here. I don't like it here, and I want to go. Please just take me home. I don't want to stay here anymore. I've been feeling that. It passes. I have never liked it here. People are mean here. And when you bring it to their attention, they're just meaner. And they take your soul away because they think they can. They try. I'll never understand it. I'll never understand that kind of behavior, and I don't like it. And I was surrounded by people like that who wouldn't give, who couldn't meet me. I fell in love with someone who I couldn't even caress. I'm still in love with him, and I'll never see him again. It was a life of torture and torment. I am here to tell you that. If I could tell you, if it was allowed, you would wonder how I got here. Anybody who knows the truth is baffled what I've overcome. Not only overcome, but I've used it in service as a nurse. Heal more of it, you know? Do what you can. And that's what I did. It's been 2 months exactly since I stopped working as a nurse. I miss my patient very much, and I get to see her from time to time, and she heals me still. And I love her very deeply, and I'm honored to have been in that home. It's been 2 months. I know that things are about to happen for me. I came here to ascend, you know? I did. And for me, that means shedding one life and starting another one. That's what it means. And that's what I'm doing. And I'm doing it because I get visions, and I have to figure out what the visions mean, and it turns out that the visions are helping me toward this mystical thing that I agreed to do. And so I began to realize today, I sat down on a bench because I had to take a rest. I was getting an x-ray, you know, over at the hospital, and it's a long walk. And I sat there and I just cried and cried because I really wanted true love. I wanted to know what love was. I wanted to really, really, really dive into it. I have so much respect. And there's no higher honor on this world than being in love with someone and being with them. That's what it's all about for me. I didn't have it very often. And I had it with people who lied to me and who manipulated me and played games with me and played takeaway and told me they could love me if I could only stop loving God so much. A lot of them. 2 of them. And for one, I gave up my writing. For one, I gave up my meditation chair. I'm not doing that anymore because I realized, sitting on that bench, crying my eyes out, wishing that I had someone in my life who would just feel good and honored to hug me and say, everything's going to be okay, baby. Nobody does that for me here. Nobody does that for me here. I have friends who I visit who heal me. I have no one in my life steady who's like that. I have Sam, but Sam has his own issues and his own path, and it's really not appropriate. I'm in service to him. He's not in service to me. I don't have that, and I wanted it. I deserved it. If anyone in this world deserved it, I did. And I saw people couple up and sell themselves to conflict and marry themselves to abuse, and some just live shallow lives, and some live very deep lives and beautiful lives. I've only met one couple who I really know love each other. I've encountered others who tell me about their partner, but only one that I see actually works. And I thought that was a very high achievement. I believe that if every home has love in it, if the abuse stops and the conflict stop in the home, how can we not have peace on earth? And that starts with being honest with one another, bearing your soul, trusting enough to do that. And being courageous enough to say, hey, that hurts. And to, take care of yourself. For me, it's just been battle after battle after battle after battle. Since 2012, it's been a little bit different. It's been really good, and I've met people who just are so kind and want to love on me, and it's just really hard. I don't know exactly how to do it. And I was hoping to have someone who could show me, because I need that. I'm not really sure how to do any of this. And I wanted a helper, a friend who could just love me and help me be more loving. Because I do believe it begins in the home. So the love that I've had, I've created for myself and for others. And I've done that because I do love God more than anyone else and anything else. God is the only thing I love. And God is everything, everything. Even the mean people. But they don't know it. If they did, they wouldn't be mean. Does it bother you that I cry? Most people think I'm manipulating them. It's too bad. I laugh as easily as I cry, Some would say that that's emotional lability. It's not. It's emotional responsibility. So the deal is to come in, live a life, go through a process, and then start a new life in the same body. That's what ascension is. Did you know that? And they've said, this energy, it's all about, okay, if you're really super married to your personality structure, then, well, good luck with that. Because it's probably not going to work in the new energy. So it requires change. So I've done some readjustments, because on that bench, after I got done feeling sorry for myself, basically, and feeling like, trying to release the feeling that I've screwed this life up. I fucked it up. I couldn't connect. Nobody loved me. Nobody wanted to stick around. Nobody, I was either, and I was too much, or too little, but I just wasn't the right person. So, serial monogamy and long periods of celibacy has been my path. And I consider celibacy sacred. It's a high art. And I know the people who make fun of it, most of them that people who make fun are those who share their sexuality in situations that I would never submit to. So, to each their own. I'm picky. I think that love can happen without abuse, without manipulation, without lying, without hiding. I think that's what life is supposed to be. And I wait patiently for others. I gathered myself up on that bench because I realized something and I began to speak out loud. I'm glad my friends found love. And I'm glad for the people who have love. I'm glad for the people who need love so bad that they do submit themselves to neglect and harm just to feel feelings, just to feel connected. I get it. And you harm somebody, this is what I found when you're around people who are not well. and angry and weird, and then they get really, really super weird about something, and you lose it. You break, and you rebel, and then the real abuse starts. That's when it gets really bad. And that's how the abuser keeps you close, is by continually feeling it's kind of a soul guilt for something that was awful that you did in response to evil. But that doesn't seem to count. You don't know that pattern? You've never been through that? It happens in the workplace all the time. Dare to point out inconsistencies or lying or things that aren't very helpful, actually. And that's usually when the fur starts to fly. I realized as I spoke, here's the deal. I have something that a lot of people don't have. I'm in love with God. Jesus visits me and talks to me and teaches me and heals me. Shiva. I don't even have words for how much I love Shiva and how in love I am with Shiva. I am an angel. I'm an angel, a human angel. I'm in love with God. It all makes sense when I get there. So in the house, I'm banging around, getting clean, and I heard myself saying, I'm a human angel. That's what I am. I don't know. I can't seem to bring myself to that astrology chart. Maybe because I just don't want to accept limitations quite yet. They're guidance, and they're helpful. And I accept the patterning and the geometries. It's beautiful. Who wouldn't want 2 grand trines? But this is an interim place, I'm not quite ready to go all the way, but it's coming. I posted something about September 23rd because people in the Christian community have been pointing to this as a sign from God or whatever. Because it's mentioned in Revelation. Well, a lot of shit's talked about in Revelation. Come on. But they're getting real hung up on this. Okay, get hung up. This is something that I'm keyed for yet again. So many planets in Virgo. A woman giving birth. In the skies. Whenever I go into December, I see 2 columns and a round thing. And it's all surrounded in something beautiful, but it's open, you can see it. And this round thing is white and soft and emitting light, and the columns are lit up. And I hear that is a time for that's a new consciousness. It's the birth of a new consciousness. And I don't know, maybe it takes that long maybe it takes a month to wipe off all the stardust or something. But I can see how I am going to change and am changing even though my situation is not. I have set my intentions, and I continue to clarify my personality structure, because many, like I said, many of the ways that I habitually explain things to myself are done as a traumatized person, and as a suspicious person, and as an angry person. Suspicious, ready, able to see. And the thing is that now I see so far and so deep all the time. And I don't read everybody's Akashas. You know, if I say hand over my ID, I'm not reading Akashas. And I'm a little bit blunt. You know, like today I was at the information desk. And I asked for outpatient radiology. And she asked me my last name. I said, you know, I all I'm asking for is directions to out. I don't need to give you my name. I just need directions. She fucking insisted. And I didn't like that. I consider that a form of rape. And it happens all the time when I call. If I need like the hours to a clinic or whatever, I call and I have to give this privileged information to what? Fucking prove what? I need information. It's weird. My physician was passive aggressive, weird, and I know it's because he's been played a lot. I could tell. Suspicious he was, very suspicious, but very nice, which is an unpleasant combination. And that's kind of what doctors are. They've turned into very suspicious people, and they just believe. They're not very nice. You just gotta trust me on some of this stuff. I know what I'm talking about. There are a few. Outstanding, deep, wise, ancient. And they practice the art of medicine. But most people just practice medicine. So, and God bless them. I'm really glad that they do. But I'm really aware of, and that's, I think, part of being an angel. Just being aware of where it's not working. And I can do that on a small or a big scale. But then, what does that make me? Some fucking critic that I'm walking around always bitching? I don't want to be that person. I don't want to be the wrench in the machine. It's hard not to speak out. And I think that it's unwise when I see my fellow citizens doing things that are invasive, and when I find totally inappropriate and quite hostile. I'm very happy to bring that to their attention. And they're shocked, because this is the way it is. And I come in like, you know, a foreigner saying, what the fuck? That's really kind of my life. So I've, been doing some thinking. I talked to my friend Sunny and was able to share some things, and that helped a great deal. And clean up my house, and all through it, there's this soft, big thing. It's outside of me. It's inside of me. I can't shake it, and I don't want to. And I expect that to grow. I expect that to be kind of what this is about. When I had that experience Christmas Eve, and everything turned golden. Everything was liquid gold love. Everything here, that's what it's made of. And I was connected to everything. I understood everything. I was so at peace. I was so loved. There have been other times that have been that beautiful, and that's where I want to stay while I'm in my physical body. That's always been my intention, to hold that much. And to look out with these eyes and speak with this voice. That's what I've always wanted. That's quite a different life than the one I had. And this life review has included looking at, of course, patterns, but what I'm left with is that I'm just so in awe of what I did under the circumstances that I was given and the circumstances that I created in that consciousness. I'm really kind of in awe of it. And I know that, this next part, I'm in service to ascension, not service to self. Never have been that. And not service to others. I don't want to feel the need to educate anybody. I can speak my opinion, and maybe that educates people, but it's not my job to give advice or go la-la and make somebody well. Unless there's, unless I am a counselor. And I wouldn't do that unless I had, QHHT training or biological decoding training, because I don't think it's appropriate to just say, hey, let me fix your life, I'm really cool. I think that there really does need to be some kind of structure, and I want to study astrology more and human design and bring it all together. And I'm more than capable of doing that. So that's kind of neat. I have plans. I don't really have any intention of leaving. I have plans. And so maybe for me this is a symbolic thing, because I've always seen surgery. It's just like there's always this huge door that's like open right in front of the patient, right above them the whole time. We can step through. You wanna? I don't know how many people die on the table. I don't know. Doesn't matter. All I know is that it is a big change, and something that I did not want to submit to, and really resisted for a long time. Convinced I could heal myself of this arthritis, and not being able to. And now submitting myself to a system that, believe me, has with it a great deal of hostility that's passive. I was inside the machine, dear. I know what I'm talking about. There's always, with the nursing staff, there's always caring. Always. That's the job. And believe me, nurses protect patients from doctors. It's one of our jobs too. I'm not naive, and I'm not paranoid. I'm realistic. And I know I'm going to be okay if I can remember what I am. I forget. I get lost. I don't get distracted. I long for a friendship, and I long for a partner, someone to share everything with. And I really feel very sad, and I feel very angry, and I feel miffed and kind of guilty. And I didn't get that. I feel like I failed. really do. And I don't know, maybe people who are married who are looking at their shattered lives and realizing how fucked up it is, maybe they realize that they didn't live their lives right either. I don't know. But I really think it's about time to just walk away from unrequited love and all of the bad feelings that that makes of, you know, inferiority and lots of things. I don't know why it's like this for me. It doesn't make sense to me. And yet there it is. And it really was the only goal I had, was to just make a home with someone who there was always love there. I'm doing that with Sam, but it's hard for him. And therefore it's hard for me. So I really want to get healthy, you know. I want to be able to move and sleep and drive without this pain. And I want to not have to count every single fucking penny all the time. I am so tired of living in poverty. And yes, I have a beautiful home, and I have so much to be grateful for. So much. So much. And indeed, I am grateful. And I'm grateful to my benefactors for what they give. I'm very, very grateful. And I'm very, very tired. And it's this that I worry about. It's been long and it's been hard, and there's been very, very little relief. The relief that I've had to generate, and I'm tired. I don't want to make my friends feel bad because they've loved me, but you know what? It's just something that that is what it is. And I am supposed to be satisfied with what I have. And I am. And I understand the reasons for how things went. I understand. And it's still a fucking practical joke. Makes me mad. And this trickster energy I wanted to mention. The trickster is with me. Is part of me. Fucking Pluto retrograde. Talk about a trickster. A dark one at that. But the first time I tried to channel, I channeled comedy. I channeled the funniest shit I've ever read. And the entity introduced himself as Ernie. And I went to my guides and said, what the? I expected, like Archangel Michael or Bartholomew or some cool name, and I get Ernie? And he was like this impish energy, a real trickster. I loved it. I absolutely loved it. And since 12, I've always considered that Jupiter. That's my friend Jupiter. I don't know why, but that's how I see Ernie. And I write about Ernie a lot. And he shapeshifts, and he's like the glue in the stories that I create. So I know that this life has been a series of belly laughs because I finally get the joke. And there's no one who could set up a joke that good. So I know it's mine. It's very personal and stuff. So I know that part of this is just, play. And I want to take it a little less seriously. I think that it's appropriate to pull back my focus from being in love. Yeah, it's a really great thing. It really is. It's really the only time that I really am satisfied and happy to be here. And that's just how I'm built. But, that love for God is very strong and it's very personal. Angels talk to me. They give me information. They've saved my life more than once. They're always with me. They've been with me for forever from my birth. I am a very, 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 very old soul. And it's uncommon for me to meet someone as old as me. I know a few now who are as old as me. And they bring me peace. It brings me great peace to be around them. And I know of old souls who are lost. They're gone from me, at least. They have no interest in what I'm doing. And it makes me feel like what I'm doing is wrong and bad. Because people I love turn from it. And most of the people in my life that I see daily or have contact with are either hostile toward my work, or they ignore it, and sometimes they make fun of it, and sometimes they do more than that to it. They spit on it. I don't have a lot of fans in my life, in other words. So what do I focus on? Do I focus on the ones who really want to keep me small and just keep crying? And the ones who cannot, somehow they're unable to participate in a loving relationship? It's just not the time or the place. That's fine. That's fine. I'm tired. I'm patient. I'm a bodhisattva. I am the embodiment of patience. But there's a part of me that is just livid when I see the ignorance, when I see the inaction of the press, of the government. For me, it's so insane to me. It's not making any sense anymore. It's so corrupt. And the corruption is so vast. And they're fighting tooth and nail. But they're going down. And it's gonna affect senators and most Republican representatives. And when that happens, the people in the state are going to have to step up. We're going to have new elections. I can see all of this. And believe me, there are other probabilities. I see things in probability rolls. And I can go through steps and see, because every step or junction, there's another way to go, and then every step and junction, so it's a series of decisions, and that's a probability roll. And I can see through and for some people I can see all the way through. And others I can't see much. But for most, yeah. And when I look at bigger things too. And people oftentimes would throw stones at me and say, well, how do you know? How do you know, you dumbass? You're not a good housekeeper. And I don't know. What else is not right with me? And you're fat when I was fat. No more. No more of that. I am a human angel. I have had conversions. I have ascended. It's a done deal. Now what I'm doing is assuming a new structure, basically. While I still have this heart beating. I think that's worth 40 minutes, don't you? Sure, there are tears. Sure, there's snot. Hopefully there's a couple giggles. And a couple light bulbs go on. I don't know. No one's doing anything wrong. When I was in the thick of it, and when I'm having troubles or crying or whatever, I'm not doing it wrong. And if you're doing awful, awful things to people you love, you're not doing it wrong. You're doing karma. You're in karma. And the old patterns that I play out, well, those are karmic patterns. And they're no longer very innervated. They no longer make a lot of sense. And I find myself looking at them and arguing with them. And I don't have anyone in my life whose intention is to hurt me. And I intend to keep it that way. So, I'm going to go on and I'm going to have fun. And how I express myself with others sexually is just something that I'm going to have to play with and enjoy and not worry about too much. And how life goes is how life goes. I'm really in a very, very blessed situation. I'm just tired. And I really am very blessed. And it's very benevolent. And, there's always a part of me that wants more. More. Keep going. There's more. You can't contain what I saw on Christmas Eve unless you keep going and keep going and keep going and keep going. There's no other way. That was always the question. How could I have all of these things happen to me and have all these thoughts and be so aware of so much and be able to go all these places, and then I go out in the world and people treat me like shit? What the fuck is that about? When is there going to be some kind of change in me where people just understand that is not appropriate behavior and they act better automatically? I'm waiting for that. And in the meantime, I'm pointing out their nonsense and pissing them off. Well, I don't give a shit. Be pissed. Good. Be pissed. Don't look at what I'm bringing up. Just be mad at me. That's really helpful. So, what that means is that I am an old soul, and a lot of people here are not as old as me. They don't see things like me, and they put it down because they're afraid of it. See how that works? People are afraid of what they don't understand. So it's been my job to soften and figure out how to present so I don't freak people out and I actually get some traction, for fuck's sake. And I know it all comes down to who I couple with and who I'm around. And I've got awesome friends. And I'm having a lot of fun. So I don't want anybody to think that things aren't going good. I'm just saying goodbye to a whole lot of sadness, a whole lot of pain, hurt, and actually people going out of their way. They go out of their way, or did, and just to be mean, just to hurt me, just to put me down. And it was so close, and it was so intense. It was for a lifetime. It was for a lifetime. And that is not my lifetime anymore. I don't allow people to treat me that way anymore. They do that, and I show them the door. And crazily, I'm not alone. And the people who are with me are kind. And they accept me. They really do. And I enjoy being around them, and they enjoy being around me, and we make plans, and we are with each other. I have a Buddhist practice I love. I have a car that works. I have a son who's beautiful and lovely and fun. I have kitty cats. I'm grateful for a lot. It's okay to go through this process of grieving and release. It's okay to share it too. I don't think it hurts anybody. I wanted to tell you about this big white thing that's in me now and all around me. It feels good and it's soft and it makes me feel better. It doesn't matter what happens. It doesn't matter how people treat me. It doesn't change how I feel. I feel this softness. I feel protected. They're right here. I can feel them. Who are they? They are those energies that I consider the council, that I know to be my family, my colleagues, my peers, my loved ones, my true home. And maybe it's hard to understand, but I'm satisfied. After having gone through this process, having had the life I had, well, that taught me a lot. Taught me a lot. It sure taught me a lot. And due to some accident of birth that allows me to see the way I do, here I am. It's nice to be without the doubt. And it's nice to see the self-hate that I felt was so necessary crumble. It doesn't make sense anymore. I wanted to tell you this because it's important, I think, to this process. And when I do this, I know I'm moving the energy. I know I'm pushing it. That's why I'm here. So I wanted to tell you that I figured a few things out. And it's not really saying goodbye. It's just finally beginning to feel a little bit more complete.